There are two things in life that everybody enjoys: listening to music and getting smarter. Most of you have probably heard of the fact that in order to increase brain activity and become more intelligent, you should listen to classical music like Mozart and Beethoven. However, this idea has been put to test recently, and the results might surprise you more than you think they would. In a study done by Dr. Bogdan Jerebkos at the University of California at Irvine, he wanted to find out what genre of music is actually the most effective for brain training.
I was always curious about it, because I never heard anybody challenge it. It was always just known to me since I have been a child that classical music was best for you to learn, but is it really?
He performed a series of different tests to observe the effects of different genres on people's brains. He had them complete simple tasks like word searches, mazes, crossword puzzles, reading books, or just lying down and doing nothing at all. He had people complete these individually, as well as in a group setting to see if the social aspect had any effect on the music as well. The results may shock you with what one genre seemed to be at the top of the list in terms of performing in brain activity: heavy metal. This may come as a shock to a lot of people, considering the contrast between heavy metal and classical music, but Dr. Jerebkos has a couple ideas as to why this may be.
The results really did surprise me at first, but I did a lot of thinking about why this happened. One theory is that because of the speed at which the notes are played and distortion of the instruments as such, that your brain really has to work to be able to distinguish every note that is played in such short time.
For example, the song Run to the Hills by the heavy metal band Iron Maiden is played at around 173 beats per minute, which means there are around 3 notes played every second by each instrument. In contrast to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, which we all know, that's usually played at around 90 beats per minute, so there's barely more than 1 note played each second. The theory is that the brain has to work so hard to identify every single note because of how quickly they are played and how little time the brain has to identify each note. The distorted sounds of the guitars, bass, and harshness of the vocals in some cases also can increase brain activity to be able to discern what notes are being played and what words are actually being said in each song. Bands like Slayer typically use very low and distorted sounds of their guitars and bass in their songs, while the singer Tom Araya has a very high, raspy, and gravelly voice. Both of these effects can increase brain activity because you need to be able to focus to actually determine what is actually happening in each song. So even though it may take some getting used to, if you want to get more intelligent simply by listening to music, crank up some Metallica and go to work.